everyone, it's Deb back again, and I've got something a little bit different, and it's an art journal page. I gessoed my background. I'm just using the Dilutions, the smaller art journal, and I did gesso it with clear gesso off camera. So we got the Distress Oxides in the kits, and I'm going to use my brayer. I saw someone do this, and I know Chrissy Mannix does this with her brayer, but I just wanted a tiny bit of colour down the bottom of my page, so I'm just using a brayer to add the Distress Oxide. Now all I've done is I smushed my Distress Oxide pad onto that ice cream lid. They're great to use as paint palettes, and sprayed a bit of water, and then I'm just rolling my brayer in it, and then just very lightly I'm adding it to my page. I didn't want too much blue, so I do have like a paper towel to mop up some of the colour here. And my idea was to keep it simple. I didn't want the whole page covered. I've created backgrounds already in this journal where I've covered the whole page, but that's as far as I've got. I always struggle with art journals, so I'm just showing you the background, what it looks like when it's dry. And I just wanted a simple art journal layout. So that's all dry now, and I'm going to come in with a bit of stamping. I used my archival ink. I did have it on stamp block, but then I took it off, and I'm just going to use it with my fingers because I don't want the full impression and I don't want it too dark. So yeah, if you just use your fingers, you can get some nice looking background interest there. So Tombow multi, now what's it called? Mono multi glue. I am going to paint some of that onto some stamps. Now, this stamp we got I think it was last year. It was quite a few kits ago. It's a Cocoa Vanilla Studio one, and it's like this distress paint stripe. And I'm going to paint the glue onto it and stamp it onto my page. And I grabbed the crosses from the mixed media kit that we got this month. And I love how this turned out because it kind of, it didn't stamp the crosses, it stamped like the reverse image of the stamp because there was so much glue around the crosses, and I really love how it turned out actually. So the reason I'm doing this is with the glue is, and you've got to use the Tombow glue for this, the Tombow Mono Multi Glue. I'm going to let it dry and go tacky, and I'm going to come in with some deco foil. I'm just adding some splatters there, and you can see it's dry, it's all gone tacky, and splatters and the stamping, it's kind of hard to see but it's there. And I grabbed some deco foil from my stash, and this is just leftover stuff from foiling from other projects, so perfect to use on these kind of projects, those leftover pieces. And you really want to burnish that foil. You got to have the pretty side up, burnish that foil over your glue, and the glue kind of grabs it, and you're left with this beautiful gold finish on your page. And the great thing about it is you don't need a mink machine, a laminator, or any heat source. It's just use your glue, let it go dry, or pretty much dry. It was still a little bit tacky, and then go to town with your deco foil. I haven't tried it with the Heidi Swap foil, so I'm not sure if that works. I just had all these pieces left over, and it was the deco foil, so that's what I chose to use. So I'm just burnishing very, very well with that bone folder, just to make sure that all the glue is covered. And I absolutely love how this came out, and I love the fact that you can add gold pretty much, or not just gold, any coloured foil to any of your projects. So I did want to add this butterfly and the 2 butterflies from the Cocoa Vanilla Studio stamp set to my layout. So I am going to emboss. So I've got some what do you call it, the embossing ink pad and I just stamped it up, and I'm doing this on watercolor paper, and I did use my little stamp pillow, any static pillow thing there, and it just helps when you add your embossing powder to only make it stick where you've stamped. And I did use Ranger Fine Gold embossing powder, and I'm just going to cover it and heat set the powder and then cut out my butterflies. So off camera I did stamp another one of those distressed kind of paint stripes from that Cocoa Vanilla stamp set up onto the top left there, because I wanted to bring the same kind of pattern and look to that side. I felt like it was lacking a bit, and I really have to really say this, is that you got to clean that glue off your stamp straight away. I didn't when I first did that kind of distress painty one, and I did end up getting the glue off, but it took a bit of scrubbing, so wash them straight away, trust me. So just cutting out my butterflies now, and I won't make you watch all of it. It's pretty easy to cut them out actually. I added some more oxide to my ice cream palette there, ice cream lid palette, and I'm just dipping those embossed butterflies into the oxide just to put a touch bit of colour to them. Not much, just a little bit of blue and pink. And I originally was just going to glue these butterflies straight down and call the layout done, but I felt that it needed something else, so I did grab some transparency from my stash, and I'm going to stamp the same butterflies with some Stays On ink onto some transparency and cut them out, because I'm going to overlay the gold embossed butterflies over the top of them, and I really love that pop of black on the layout. I felt like it wasn't so airy. So yeah, just stamping on some transparency with some Stays On ink, and I'm going to cut these ones out. Now in the kits we've got a sticker sheet and a kind of 3D foam sheet of stickers, and I just grabbed 2 little quotes or sayings from each of them, and I'm just going around the edges of them with my Stays On ink, because they're kind of a slick surface and the Stays On ink will not rub off, and I'm just going to pop them there, and that's going to be my little quote for my page. I originally was going to use the little stamp sentiment from the stamp set, but unfortunately I got a dodgy one, so it didn't quite stamp properly. So just going around the edges with the Stays on Ink, and you'll notice that I've actually outlined and I've actually date stamped my page too. I forgot to press record. I just used a Sharpie to outline and positioning my butterflies where I want them, and I'm going to stick them down, and then I think I give you a close-up look, or do I come in with a stamp? I can't remember. I wanted that butterfly. That was from the September Mixed Media Kit. It was such a beautiful butterfly, like he's sitting there on the quote, and the other butterflies are floating up the page. Not floating, flying. And just seeing what else. I think I do come in with a stamp, yes, from the September stamp set. And I'm just going to add a bit more stamping to the background, and I'm not going to put it onto an acrylic block. I'm going to do the same thing, and I don't even re-ink it. I love the kind of, you can see it's like a faded color because it's not the first generation of stamping, and just adds a little something to the background. I'm going to show you some close-up slowed down footage now, and you can see all that gold goodness on the background, and the way that those stamps kind of did that reverse stamping. I love that. And you can see my stamping in the background and my butterflies. I just wanted to show you before I added my gold butterflies, and I do show you again once I add the gold butterflies. My date stamp, little sentiments, and I love how it's the whole page is not covered. There's breathing room there, and that's exactly what I wanted to go for with this layout. So we're almost done now. I'm going to add my gold embossed butterflies over the top of the black ones, and that's pretty much it. I will slow the footage down again to show you the butterflies, and I have some stills at the end. Don't forget to check out the other videos on the channel, and thumbs up and subscribe, and all the links to Kitaholics will be below, so you can go check out their kits. They are so awesome. And I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.